2K Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Who would have thought a game from 2007 would be capable of it? Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are with Medal of Honor Airborne and not Wolfenstein The New Order. Why, you may ask? Because Wolfenstein The New Order doesn't bloody well work on this machine. Essentially, I tried running it with a previous version of the Crimson Relive driver, and what ended up happening is it ran, but it ran like crap. Then, of course, what ended up happening when I upgraded the driver, it didn't run at all. So I'm pretty sure there is some sort of fix I can get for it, but I do not know how to fix it at this time. So, yeah, we're going to be playing this game for the time being. We're going to be playing another Wolfenstein game soon enough, but I decided to do this one because it's a nice change of pace, and I absolutely love Medal of Honor Airborne. When it came out in 2007, I did not play it, mainly because I figured it was just going to be some crappy modern-day game. It is not, as you will see very soon. We're, of course, running this in 2K, which is cool. Now, I don't have a 2K monitor, but what Crimson Relive will let you do is it will let you use what's called super resolution, and you can play games in higher screen resolutions because I assume it emulates a higher screen resolution. That's how it works. It's some kind of weird techno-sorcery that you have to, now I'm doing this entirely fresh, but what's kind of funny is I did some test recordings, and I actually keep my upgrades for these two weapons, which is kind of cool. But ultimately, we don't have all the good weapons, so I will have to unlock them normally, which is somewhat annoying, but for you guys, I'll do anything. But I think this game also does the epic thing a little better than Call of Duty, because you have these really cool quotes, and I like how it picks a little bit from the quote, as we'll see in just a moment, calling it Infinite Mischief. I think that's really cool. Alright, so with the Airborne, we're going to jump out of a plane. So here's a story my grandfather told me about my great-uncle, his brother. His uncle was a member of the Airborne, and not during World War II. They're not old enough for that. It was during Korea. And they tossed a Jeep out of one of these planes. And when they did, the chute didn't open, and he got to watch it go all the way to the ground and smash itself into a billion pieces. But yeah, I did not think Medal of Honor Airborne was going to be any good. It is. It's an amazing game. Now, when this recording goes up, the review should already have been... yeah, this is going to go up, I think, at the very end of May, I think? Yeah, because there's still more Wolfenstein Return to Castles going to be going up. Yeah, I can see, here's the interesting thing about my Let's Plays, is they all have to be done like in the previous month. Now, I'm going to try to get this challenge drop, and he's probably going to kill me, because I didn't do a good landing. Yeah, because he's going to beat the shit out of me while I try to get on my fucking thing. Aha! Fuck you! Fuck you, dude! Fuck you, dude. I am alive, and I got my challenge drop. But yeah, this is a fucking awesome, fucking great game. I don't care how you play it, be on the PC, PS3, Xbox, whatever. Get the game. It is good. You will love it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at this really cool, cover-based system here. Just fucking hit the right mouse button, and you can jump back in and out of cover. You don't have to, stick yourself to a fucking wall or anything. It is first-person shooting at its best. And it's completely non-linear. Now, obviously, the levels aren't like open world. This isn't like Far Cry 3, but it's still much more open than what we'd get, a little bit later. Now, as I mentioned in the review, you will run out of Thompson submachine gun ammo pretty fast. You don't have that much ammo, and in real life, you wouldn't be carrying this much ammo anyway. But here's the interesting thing. I read a book by Anthony Devore on Normandy. And what ended up happening in Normandy is they, carried a shitload of weapons and ammo. But, they had problems with, if you came down... Oh, shit, I'm getting shot to pieces. Help me, bots! Help me! But, if you came down, in a bog, you could, fucking sink out of sight and, die. There was a guy who did die like that. Can you imagine that, though? You're fucking drowning in a bog. That's the thing they don't talk about. That's what doesn't really get... Well, that did get in history books, but that's one of the things you don't see in the movies. Shit. Okay, I kind of sucked there. I kind of sucked on that one. This game's a lot harder than Call of Duty. But Call of Duty does things differently. Call of Duty is all about the epicness, whereas this is all about you gotta be a little more careful. We're gonna try to land on that roof there. You're not supposed to do that, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We'll try for the grease landing, because I'm holding W. Grease landing means you don't just face plant. Alright, let's grease it. Yeah. Ah, botched it. Fuck, now I'm gonna get shot in the back. Or beat the shit out of. Okay, I wasn't getting I wasn't getting the shit beaten out of me, which is good. But you can get the shit beaten out of you, though, in this game. Because they love doing that. They love just fucking charging you and beating you to a pulp. Which is never fun. But yeah, when they dropped over Normandy, one guy landed right in a bog, and apparently, according to Anthony Beevor, they were trying to pull him out, but they couldn't pull him out until he drowned. So yeah, that's a good way to go. Comp B, motherfucker. This game looks really good in 2K. I can see why 2K gaming is becoming popular now. Also, I love the ragdolls in this game, because you can fucking launch these guys into the air. And see, since this game is less a massive... This is not really as historical as it could be, which is fine, because that means I don't have to feel bad about shooting these guys. Because I don't have to be like, oh, I'm shooting somebody's great-grandfather. Nope, it's just a video game with some good historical elements. And which is just cool to me, you know? I'm very weird about that these days, after having studied so much history. It's like, oh yeah, I get to shoot these Italian black shirts, these are real people. Well, no, Italian black shirts use different guns and stuff like that, so now I can be like, well, you know, it's historical, but it's based more on historical fiction, and also I wouldn't be having, you know, like a Tommy gun drum magazine, you know, I wouldn't have that. So it's just cool to me, it really is. It's cool to be able to play a World War II game, but not have to feel guilty about playing it, if that makes any sense at all. Shite. I think that might be a friendly? No, it's not. Okay, he got him. Okay, we're gonna swap for the M&P40, or the MP40, whichever way you want to call it. Okay, we're not gonna... Yeah, we'll use a little more of the Garand here, because once I finally got the STG-44, I stopped using the M1 Garand. I like the M1 Garand, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have one in real life. I do not, actually, because back in the day, they were still pretty expensive. They were like $700. And these days, you can't get them for that price, even if you wanted to. I remember seeing one at a gun shop once, and look at that, he'll run up there and he'll beat the fuck out of you. He doesn't just beat the shit out of you, he beats the fuck out of you. He got a machine gun? Yeah, but he can't hit anything. I don't think they got the... If that's an MG42, they didn't get the sound for that quite right, as it does just sound like a massive buzzsaw. Hence why they called it Hitler's buzzsaw. What's interesting about the MG42 is I recently watched... Is this an MG42? No, it's just MMG. This looks like a 42. Yeah, see, you can hear the individual shots. In real life, you can't. And I was watching some propaganda, because they're on YouTube. Propaganda saying, like, well, the American machine guns are more accurate, and the German machine guns aren't, so its bark is worse than its bite. It's like, oh, come on. Nobody. I'm pretty sure no one bought that. Like, at all. Shit. Now, this game does have some frame rate drops here and there, but I think that's because I'm playing it in 2K. But I did remember seeing a few frame rate drops, but overall, the frame rate for this game is very consistent. According to the development bit on Wikipedia, apparently, there's still a lot of bloody Italians left alive in here. Like, seriously, are they just being infini-spawned? No, I think that might be the last one. I'm looking at the radar. No, I think there's one more guy in here. Because we're going to have to come back here, actually. And, of course, I'm getting... Look at that. He just fucking charged and started smacking the shit out of me. But see, look, this would be a mission in and of itself, like in a Call of Duty game. We still have the whole rest of the level to go through, which is so fucking cool. The game looks so good. Look at it. It's beautiful in 2K. If I actually had a shitload of extra money, and I don't, I would totally get a 2K monitor. Because 2K looks really good. Like, going back to 1080p is just so hard to do because it's all scrunched in. I guess that's what people would have felt like when they first upgraded to 720. But yeah. I don't actually use the desktop in 2K because I can't get the UI scaled right. Because like you can do some UI scaling, but it never looks right. It just and like the fonts are too small, or you know trying to scale it, it's too big. So it's just whatever. Whatever, man. I will just use 1080p for basic desktop and 2K for gaming. What's really cool, not that I can actually record it, because Crimson Real Life keeps crashing when I try to. Doom, I can run it maxed out at 2K. It's like, that allows me to stroke my PC-ness quite vigorously. And it makes me very happy in the pleasure centers of brain. Because, holy crap, Not too long ago, all I had was the it was a fairly decent graphics card. It was decent for free, I can tell you that. And I could play it on all low at 720p. Now I can play it on maxed out at 2K. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, this is the Italy campaign here. The Italy campaign was always seen as a bit of a sideshow during World War II. You don't really see much about it. Outside of Medal of Honor, really. Medal of Honor did, for Medal of Honor Breakthrough, did a Italian campaign. I like how Medal of Honor does things compared to Call of Duty. Like, see, you got these guns here, but we can't pick up the ammo. We have to pick up special ammo boxes, which is cool, because it means you have to really be careful, and you can't just go, like, you can't just machine gun down everything. You can't just spray and pray. You actually have to try in this game, which I do love. Eventually, we will get to some of the other Medal of Honor games. The only problem is, like, I don't have Medal of Honor Frontline anymore, and that's for the Xbox. I'm not sure if it's for the PS2 or not. The problem is, like, you can't emulate an Xbox, and I know a couple of fans who have had better luck with Xboxes than I have, and, like, they still have lasted unto this day, whereas mine hasn't. My Xbox died many a year ago, so it's like, if you don't, and the problem is, since there's no way to emulate, you have to actually get a working Xbox, and it's just like, I'm not gonna buy a console just to do one game or two games. And I would like it if I don't understand why a lot of those Medal of Honor games weren't on the PC anyway. It's like, it started out on the PC, and I'm a big fan of PC gaming. Now, as you can see, we still have our upgraded MP40. I want to call it MP44, but that's not what that is. The upgraded MP40 here, of course, has the 64-round magazine. Yeah, that's not historically accurate, but you know what it is? It's fucking cool! Run! What would be kind of cool is if you could upgrade this to a Garand that uses mags. Because there are some prototype Garands that will use mags. Mainly BAR mags, which I think would make it insanely heavy. Because BARs were very heavy, and the mags more so. I shot my own guy, because I suck. Let's see, we're running out, we got 4 rounds, so I will take the K98K. This is supposed to be the weakest gun in the game, which I find hilarious, seeing as how this is a fucking full-powered rifle, you know, shooting the 8mm Mauser. I mean, come on. Well, it's 7.92 by something, 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 something. It's still a pretty powerful round, though. And what's also pretty funny is, you can't use stripper clips. Now, I don't mention that in the review, just because I was going on a bit over long. See, that's the thing, when you're in a review, you see, look, you single load these, like, where's the stripper clips, you know? But when you're doing a review, you don't want to just go on over long, because then people will get bored with what you're talking about. Well, that guy was fucking ballsy, he just fucking charged up there. The AI isn't that amazing for the, for your allied bots, but they do decent enough. And at least these guys are smart enough to get back on the turrets. At least they're smart enough for that. Crap. Oh wait, no, it was my own guy and I shot him. I didn't know they could get on the turret. I'd never seen him do it until just now. Shit, get down to cover. But the cover system just works so good. I don't know why they didn't do this in other games. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this game that I don't know why they didn't do it in other games. Because it works really well. Like, you know, you got the weapon upgrade system. I didn't see something like that until Wolfenstein New Order, and that works. That means you have reason to use these different weapons. It means you have a reason to pick up and use other bloody weapons instead of just the ones that work perfectly. Now, of course, when I played the game, I just stuck with the STG-44 and the G-43. I'm a big fan of the STG-44. The G-43, from what I've heard, wasn't that good of a rifle in actual usage. It was one of those that it was better. Oh, shit, shit, shit. That's the one problem with grenades in this game. You can easily blow yourself up if you're not ready. But that's true of any game where, like, you think you're sticking out somewhere and you're not. And also my AI bots always love to force me out of cover so I can get shot in the face. Alright, let's run up here, get some cover. But look at this. This is a whole level where we can go anywhere we want and do pretty much whatever we want. Now, there were supposed to be vehicles in this game. However, there's even a tie-in with Jeep, but they basically said the game was too cramped for vehicles, and I can see that. If the levels if the levels were like this in early development, yeah, there's no way you're getting a Jeep in here, that's for sure. Or I guess you could, but it'd be finicky. The thing is, a lot of times we like to say, well, only if only they left X number of things in the game, it might be better. But there's always instances where if they put it in the game, it might have actually been kind of crap. And so not having vehicles, the controls of the vehicles could have been crap, the vehicle handling might not have been very good. It's kind of like the Mako in Mass Effect. I still like the Mako in Mass Effect. I know a lot of people don't. I don't like the Mako in Mass Effect on the PC, though, because it actually kind of controls even worse on the PC, but I thought it was a cool idea. I thought it was cool, but vehicles in this game might not have worked. That's the thing. What might have been all day long, but I think what they did in this game was perfectly excellent. It's perfectly excellent, because it's just that good. Because I'm always looking for a good FPS. That's something I'm always trying to find, and I never can find a good FPS. And when I do, I play it, and then I'm stuck not having a good FPS. Because you have no idea how many times I've replayed fucking Doom 2016, because I want something new. That's why I'm glad I finally gave Brutal Wolfenstein a try, because I really wanted a good Doom WOD, and I've played so many Doom WODs. Like, my Doom folder's like 20 gigabytes, because I have so many of those WODs downloaded. I really need to sort through those at some point, because like there's some WODs that I've played that I've forgotten about. Like there's one that like takes place inside like a building with like different floors, but I can't remember what it is, so I can't play it again. But it's like eventually, like for me, it's just I've kind of run out of first-person shooters that I really like. Now, one game I'm really looking forward to, and as of this recording, I may have it or I may not, just depending on how much extra money I have. There is a game called The Surge, where it's supposed to be like Dark Souls, but with like mech suits. Okay, that's what they. Oh, look, we launched them. You can launch them a little higher than that later on. Alright, so we're running low on Thompson submachine gun ammo here, and all I've got is, we might pick up another MP40. Copy! Dude. I do like the way the cutscenes work in this. They don't really take you out of the game too much. And once again, there's not really any characters, it's just World War II guys doing World War II stuff, so there's no other, like, characters. What's funny, okay, see his canteen there? In some playthroughs I've done, his canteen literally disappears. It just looks like he's drinking out of his hand. Yeah, fuck Setzer. Although you realize Setzer, whoever he may or may not be, is likely dead by now just because of the sheer amount of time. That's always something to think about, though. That's one of the things I've thought about as time has gone on in my life. I'm fairly young. I'm still in my 20s, as of this recording anyway. But you ever think about that? As we get older, think about all the people that have come before us. You know, because these guys are young in this game. A lot of people in a lot of the troops in World War II were, you know, far younger than I am. I would be like an old man to them. In World War II, many of the men were like in their late teens, very early 20s, and now they're in their 70s or hundreds. I think there's like one of the oldest World War II vets is actually like in his hundreds. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we gotta go assemble with Airborne at the North Gate. I'm actually jumping the gun. It's kind of crazy to think just how many people have born and lived and died. You know, we all think we're going to be young forever, but that's not really the case. We're all born to die, man. Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? You know, I never saw that sketch. I never saw Kenan and Kel, but I'm aware of that movie, just from the Nostalgia Critic. Although, you know, I'm tempted to actually watch that Kenan and Kel show in the modern era, just because it does look like it's a bit amusing. Back when I was a kid, if it wasn't sci-fi or fantasy, well, maybe fantasy. If it wasn't sci-fi or some kind of action, I was like, I do not care. But the modern era, I've kind of broadened my horizons. That is not how you shoot a Thompson submachine gun, dude. But you gotta love how they can blind fire. The enemy can blind fire as well. Yeah, get out there, pussy. We fight for the users. Well, I'm not going to dispute that. Although the Italians did pretty well as well. What's interesting is in a variety of sources I found, some will say that Rommel really thought the Italians fought well, and some say that he didn't believe that. So it's like, which one's true, I wonder. It's just, that's the problem with the World War II study, is it's hard to tell what is actually true and what isn't. I've covered this in another Let's Play, but it's still interesting to see, though. Everyone just has their... Every historian will kind of bring their own mindset and biases to there, but then again, what's biased, though? See, that's very dangerous to do in many respects. It's like you say, oh, they're biased, but how do you know you're not biased, and therefore misinterpret what they say as a bias? It's just one of those things. You gotta be careful when it comes to that sort of... You gotta be careful when it comes to that sort of thing. You can't just assume bias when in fact you're being just as biased as they are. There's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to a great many things in this era of ours. So you just gotta be careful. Fucking charge! Fucking Leroy Jink. Shit. Of course, I'm not sure if those are quite appropriate uniforms for this particular field. They look a little too bright. Shit! Where am I getting shot from? I got shot by something I couldn't see. Okay, we're gonna use 2 SMGs. Oh, really? Did I almost shoot my own guy? No, but he teleported away. Alright, so we got a sniper team.
Stay clear of the window. There's a sniper across the way.
This is actually a fairly easy sniping mission right here. This is definitely not Sniper Elite 3 or V2. Now, of course, how would Travers know what that guy was saying? Okay, alright, I don't know if the scope is entirely accurate either. Okay, we will jump up here. Oh, come on, that's bullshit. That should have shot him. Also, you gotta love that tiny little graphical fuck up where you can see his scope shining through the wall. Got his shoulder. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Got him! Aha! Now, of course, in the review itself, I actually ended up... Well, I say the review. In the footage I got for the review, I actually shot him, like, first time. So, yeah. Now, in the actual Let's Play, I can't. Alright, so we gotta go to Town Square. We're almost done with the level, but look at how much shit we've done in this level, though. Any one of these things would be, like, a mission in and of itself. So, like, well, the game is kind of... Well, the game is short. But, it's... I guess it's like, it's short but sweet, but there's no filler. Like, there's no filler at all in this game. And everything sort of serves well. And there's not, like, a whole bunch of, scripting where you just gotta sit and watch something. Like, you're always playing the game, like, all the time. Now, I don't ever use the Springfield rifle, like, at all, because it's a good rifle, but with this kind of gameplay, you still want to be able to have the flexibility of a semi-auto rifle. But since I'm out of ammo in a lot of those other guns, I guess we will use the Hans Sprungfeld rifle. Now, theoretically, we can flank these guys by going up around here. There's like a little basement area. I wonder if we'll find any trolls down there. Alright, let's keep on running. See, look at this. Look at how much extra space there are in these levels. See, that's where this game really shines, in the exploration. Yeah, it's not quite as fast-paced as Call of Duty, but it doesn't need to be. And see, by going this way, we don't have to do a frontal assault, which means we get shot a lot. Instead, we get to charge in the back way, which is always a good thing. Except when you run out of ammo and all you got left is a fucking Springfield. Now, the Marines actually used Springfields quite a bit early war. Throw grenades! Yeah, fuck you, dudes! Eat grenades! I can use the pistol. Aha! Now, in real life, many people did use grenades. Like, that was a very common thing for the infantry to use, because that did give you quite a bit of firepower compared to just your basic infantry weapon. In fact, in World War I, a lot of those stormtroopers really preferred carrying grenades. Like, there are pictures of them literally just carrying sacks of grenades. And I've actually seen it. Shit, look at that! Look at that! Look at that guy! Look at that balls out motherfucker! While I was reloading, he just bashed my fucking skull in! Asshole. Okay, let's We're still not going to do the frontal assault thing, but I think we can get to where that cellar is a little faster. Yeah, I think we can go over here. Let's charge! No, it's back that way, fuck it. I had to do this in the review, too. It was like, oh, I'll be sneaky, and then I'll die halfway there. One thing I do find it is a little difficult to aim with the mouse controls. Shit. Okay, you know what, fuck it, we are going to go back. Because all I'm going to do is get shot because I'm almost out of ammo. I guess we could snipe him, but fuck that. This isn't Sniper Elite. Although I've not played that many of these Sniper Elite games. I like how there's actually enemies back here. And that is some really good, that is really good animation. The thing is, this game is very impressive for 2007. Come on. Got him. No, I didn't. Fuck it. Fall back. Missed him again. God damn it. Yeah, I think the scope is a little too anachronistic. Although it's not quite as anachronistic as the one from Call of Duty World War, where it's like a World War I scope that's like 48 feet long. It's not 48 feet long, but it's like really, one of those really long, thin scopes, which I think would have made more sense for a World War I scope. Come on, get him. Got him. Okay, there's one more over there. I think. Yeah, we'll just charge in. Just fucking charge in. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, we've got like 14 rounds left of this. I knew there was one more over there. I knew there was. Take a K98. I would really like to have a K98 in real life, but it's just, they're too expensive for what they are. And I've already got a couple of bolt actions anyway. And you've shot one bolt action, you've shot them all in many respects. Because they were all made to pretty much the same quality. Now, realistically, these Italian troops should have, they technically should have Carcanos. And the Germans rightly, oh, fuck, fall back. Shit. Not the best move, dude. Now, the Germans having K98Ks. Carabiner 98 God damn. Died the same way again. Fucking. Getting in there is not an easy prospect. And I don't have my. I want my fucking G43 back. And I want my G43. And I want my G43. Ooh, I got ammo. Fuck it. Doesn't matter now. My G43 and SG-G44, both of those are fucking awesome. But I was unaware that there was an ammo box there. Now I am aware. And knowing is half the battle. Airborne. Alright, so now we actually have some ammo, so theoretically we should be able to not die. But you blow through you blow through submachine gun ammo like it was bloody water. Aha! They're coming to take me away! Now, as of this recording, I recently, moving on to an actual subject for once, I had just recently seen the new King Arthur movie that came out by Guy Ritchie. Now, I wasn't really aware of that King Arthur movie, and I was looking for a movie to take my mother to for Mother's Day, because we're both big fans of cinema. I mean, how do you think I got into cinema? It was mainly thanks to her, because she was and is a big movie fan. She likes a lot of the same movies that I do. She's the one who introduced me to literally every franchise I love, from Aliens to Star Trek and Star Wars. Because she was a big Star Wars fan. I'm not sure if she saw it back in the 70s or not. She, of course, would have been alive back in the 70s, because Star Wars is from 1977. She would have been fairly young back then, though. But she was a big fan of Star Wars, big fan of Star Trek. In fact, what's interesting is she was quite unique for the time. Star Trek at that time would have been seen as primarily a show for males and things of that nature, and it was very rare that a girl would actually like that. But she was a big fan of Star Trek, loved the Kirk, loved the old Shat, and she's always very cool about that. And so she was a big fan of Guy Ritchie. Although unlike with me, she wouldn't know who Guy Ritchie was. It's like she likes his films, but she was like, oh yeah, Guy Ritchie, that guy. But she's the one I saw Sherlock Holmes with, and The Bank Job, and all the rest with. Like, we go to the movies all the time, because she actually can appreciate a good movie. She's very knowledgeable about that. But we both, and he blind fired, that is awesome. And she liked the King Arthur movie quite a bit, and I did too. It had Guy Ritchie's signature style, ooh, I knocked him off the cliff. Aha! Well, knocked him off the roof, whatever the case may be. But it had Guy Ritchie's signature style. It really, I liked what it did with the King Arthur mythos. Like, it made it straight fantasy, which the King Arthur mythos has been changed throughout the centuries. Like, literally, King Arthur's been around like something like 400 years or more. Might be closer to like 500. No, it's probably older than that, because I remember seeing something like it was from the 9th century AD, so it's been around for a very long time. Got him. Sweet. I remember when I first played this, I shot the last officer, and it seemed like all the other German troops just died. They it's like the robots from Star Wars. You kill the, well, you don't kill the head guy. You blow up the computer and they all shut down. So like you shoot the last officer, they all just shut down. Although in reality they might have all surrendered potentially. Hard to say. All right, so that was the very first level of Medal of Honor Airborne. Absolutely excellent game. And so I am GeneralLotz, wishing you good King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, whatever makes you happy.